In the last video I did on this Corvair Greenbrier, some of you guys noticed and commented about this guy, this switch up here on the header panel above my head. And you guys asked what it was or what it's about. And it reminded me that this van had gone through 2 transformations that, at least that I know of, during its lifetime. And this switch is one of the artifacts from a previous lifestyle that this van lived. And apparently in the 70s, there was a thing about going vanning, where folks would take a van, customize it to suit their needs, go out partying all weekend with a bunch of other like-minded vanners, come back Sunday night, go back to their Monday to Friday 9 to 5. And this and a bunch of other pieces that are still on this van, and some I've taken off already, are reminders of that other lifestyle. And I thought I'd take a minute, we'll go through some of these, and I'll share with you the transformation this van has made over the years. I tell you what, the 70s must have been a wicked good time, man. With only 3 TV channels, right? You had to go out and make your own fun. And people went out and bought these cool vans for cheap, did all kinds of crazy custom tricks to it. This piece up here is one of those customizations that have been done to this van. And the way this works is that you spin this, you hear that, right? This is a switch for an air pump, and right behind the seat, if you pull the seat forward, you can see a little air compressor, holds maybe a half gallon worth of air, and that switch activates the pump, fills up the tank. That tank was used for a set of air horns that used to be on this van. They were tucked up underneath, right in front of the front tire. And that's where the master cylinder is, parts of the front suspension, shift linkage. There was dual air horns on there. I pulled them off, I kept them, and in the back here, I've got this old picnic basket that I keep spare parts in, and each of the different pieces that I've taken off the car over the years. Here are the horns. Check that out. Pretty cool. And this is the switch to activate the horns. This lever was mounted way up here on the roof where these 3 plugs are. And you can see how the holes align. So you pull the drawstring, it releases the air, it blasts through the horn, and it blows away anybody in front of you. Also up here in the roof, you can see plugs from where a set of running lights were installed on the van at one point. And when the van was repainted about 20 years ago, these were filled in. And the roof smoothed out. And up front, right below the headlight, there were large, round auxiliary lights. I can't remember if they were dual filament, where there were running lights and turn signals, but one of the first things I did after getting the van after the first few months, took those lights out, took the van over to my buddy Paul. He filled in the square holes that were in here and repainted the front to match. Inside the van, you can see up top, you have holes up here in the header panel. Holes, holes. And these were for curtain rods that were installed all along the side of the van. And along with those mounting holes, you also had buttons down here at the very bottom in order to close up those curtains. So after a long weekend of drinking with your old lady, you're ready for some quiet time, and you close those curtains, have a little piece of quiet. The previous owner also installed this little piece, which simply goes over the push button and keeps the lights off. See that? When the doors open. So simple, so easy. Costs next to nothing, right? Nothing but a screw and a little piece of scrap tin, and it does the job, man. You can leave the doors open, have a good old party time out here without killing the battery. So even with the door switch blocked off, right, the dome light is off, you put in this toggle switch up here, so you can still activate the interior lights when you're in here hanging out. So in order to do that little trick with the dome light, the dude that owned this van in the past had to rewire it so it was always hot, always on, and it's something I totally don't like about it. So with the key off, you can still turn on the fan, turn on the wipers, and anything else that uses electricity in the van. He also added stereo speakers for a van that has no stereo, so it must have at one point. He added these cool little door pocket lights that aren't hooked up. That's just for show. These came out of a 63 Mercury. These map pockets must have come from an auto store somewhere back in the day. And this map is from Sun City, Arizona, which is where this van originally came from. I found it in the van and I just keep it in here as a memento now. And in the back on the sail panel, you have these cool air extractors. These are marine units. They were chrome when I first got the van, and I think these serve two purposes. I think with the van being in Arizona, these vented out some of the excess heat in the summer sun. Also, it's a Corvair, right? So you get all kinds of exhaust fumes in the car. This evacuates those fumes, so you can have the windows up, you can have the heat on, and you can still get rid of any trapped air and any carbon monoxide, is it? Carbon dioxide? Carbon monoxide, is that it? And you can see the spare tire in the back. It's a Corvair GT. These had charcoal painted spokes, polished lip. There was a set of these on the van about 5 years ago. I pulled them off to replace the tires. They're 14 inches, and so instead of just putting new tires back on in the 14-inch size, I went with the steel OEM style rims that are 15 inch, so I was able to get some better tire choices. The steering wheel that was on the van when I first bought it was this really cool aftermarket chrome and wood rimmed wheel. I traded it for this factory OEM Corvair steering wheel that also has the correct horn ring for Greenbrier Deluxe. And that custom wheel also had a matching shift knob that went with it also that I have in the garage. But I think the coolest little touch that's been added to this van back from its vanning days is this right here. This is the little handle to open up the access hatch. It's not supposed to be a handle at all. It's just supposed to be a lever that you flip. But if you look closely, it has a little C on it. The C is not for Corvair. That's a bathroom faucet handle. That C is cold. And I think something as simple and little as that is pretty cool and unusual and weird and quirky, and it fits perfectly with this van. And so that's it. I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go pick up some dinner, and I will see you on the next video.